Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll look at an amazing nonprofit that's been around for 32 years. You'll hear about Best Buddies next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, Best Buddies International is just such a special organization. I learned about them several years ago when I was a TV reporter at Fox 4, and I ran into the state director for Texas at a networking event the other day and decided to invite her into studio. Linda Kordek-Milton, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation, Jeff.
Well, I know Best Buddies has been around for 32 years, but you probably still run into people who don't know what Best Buddies is.
Correct. So this is a fantastic opportunity to be able to share with your viewers that Best Buddies has been around for 32 years. We are a global organization that provides one-to-one friendships between people with and without intellectual and developmental disabilities. So these are primarily, our biggest populations are people with autism, people with Down syndrome, ADHD, and then on from there, traumatic brain injury, etc.
And you have chapters all over the state of Texas?
We have chapters all over the state of Texas, all over the country, all over the world.
That's amazing. Okay, let's talk about some of the programs.
Fantastic. Our founding pillar is our friendship pillar, and that really comes from our founder, Anthony Kennedy Shriver. He had a fantastic relationship with his aunt, Rosemary, who was President Kennedy's sister. And they had this wonderful friendship, and when Anthony went to school at Georgetown University, he realized that people with special needs did not have that social network. They didn't have people that they called friends. They were very isolated. And he said, wait, we have to change this because these people are so special. So he started the first friendship chapter at Georgetown University, and now here we are 32 years later. Our programs begin in elementary school when everybody loves everybody. There's just no differences noticed. Then you get into middle school when differences do become noticed, bullying starts. And so if we can capture and bottle that feeling that happens in elementary school and transfer it to middle school, carry it through to high school, on to college, and then into adulthood, these are the students without disabilities who are becoming our leaders of tomorrow. They're our leaders, our employers, our teachers, and then we put ourselves out of business because everybody's included.
I love it. You're so passionate about it. And you were recently featured on the Today Show. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
One other thing to mention, today is World Down Syndrome Day, and to celebrate, we have some folks on the plaza from an organization that's really close to my heart, Best Buddies. This group is really remarkable. It's all about inclusion and building support. This is my friend. This is my best buddy, Tara. We've been together for 7 years. Hi, Mom. There's her mom, Pat. Tara, that's beautiful. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And you painted it?
Yes.
Yeah. And how's life been going? I seen you in a couple months. I saw you a couple months ago. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me see your nail polish. Tara's very glam. Let me just show you. She always has good nails. She's always got a good fashionable outfit. We're so glad to have all of you here. Thank you, Mark Wiley from Best Buddies. It's good to see you. So just thank you, my dearest. I love it.
You're welcome.
What?
Want us to hold that for you too?
Oh, no, I'm just going to give her a bit.
Good to see you.
Oh, I'm happy to see you, my love.
I love it.
We've been Best Buddies a long time now. She's been here a million times, so this is like home for her, and it's really wonderful to have you here. And Best Buddies is a great organization, so let's give it up for them and just remember.
What a great
321, it's a special day.
What a great morning of affirmation.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Terrific.
That's really cool. It doesn't get much better than the Today Show.
I'll tell you what, and that truly emphasizes and illustrates another point about our friendship programs. This is not a mentorship program. These are true friendships. These are people who get together for breakfast, go out to a football game, hang out on the weekends, text each other. This is not a mentorship. And so you saw that friendship right there. Go get your nails done. It was fantastic.
We were on your Facebook. We found some amazing pictures, so we'll put those up. Let's talk about employment.
Yes, thank you. Our employment program is fantastic because it is so hands-on. Just like every pillar in Best Buddies, our friendship program, our jobs program, our leadership program, everything is inclusive and integrated. So we're looking for jobs for people who are going to work side by side with their neurotypical colleagues. But what's unique about Best Buddies employment program is we'll start with the person and really look at what their interests are, what their skills are. We open their eyes to career exploration. I back up to high school, because when our students with disabilities are in high school and middle school, their parents are just getting them through day by day by day. And every other student has to decide by freshman year, what am I going to do? Am I going to enter the fine arts program? Am I going to enter STEM? And with our Best Buddies, they graduate at age 18 and everybody goes, whew. And then they go, uh-oh, now what? Well, we don't want our buddies to graduate to the couch. So if we can start in middle school and high school, just like every other student, to talk about what the opportunities are, then by the time they turn 18 and graduate, they're usually in a transition program at public high schools from 18 to 21. We can come in and start working with them on exactly this, career exploration, talking about what the job skills are that are needed, work with them on soft skills, resume building, mock interviews. And then by the time they graduate from their transition program, they feed right into our jobs program, where our manager of jobs development works with both the employer and the employee, potential employee. We look for new employers who would consider having someone with disabilities on their staff. And then we make this match. Once they get hired, then our employment consultant takes over, our job coach, and they then are working with the colleagues and the employer to talk about, is it people first or identity first language? Is it the person with autism or is it the autistic man? And so that's a personal preference by our participants that we have to seek out and then educate our employers. If they hire someone with autism and the sirens are going to go off and the lights are going to strobe, what can they look to anticipate there? And then we're there every step of the way for the first 2 weeks to shadow them, to help make sure that there's a successful onboarding, and then we fade. And so we'll stay in touch, but with both the employer and the employee, and make sure that everything is successful. And if anything should change, if the supervisor changes, if the job role changes, then our coach steps right back in and manages that transition. And we stay engaged for the entire life of that placement. For as long as someone's at that job, we hope they get promoted. But if they decide that they want to move on to something else, we're there to help that as well.
Wow. Let's talk about leadership development.
Well, that happens all along, but certainly in the school setting where you have people with disabilities who, especially when you talk about cultural demographics and diverse communities, sometimes they're still kept in the shadows, and people don't want to know. Sometimes our students are mainstreamed and not put into the special education curriculum, and then they have trouble fitting in because just all kinds of challenges. So sure. When we have them in our Best Buddies chapters, our people with disabilities learn to advocate for themselves. We help them write speeches. We offer them opportunities to speak in front of groups. And then our students without disabilities, they learn what it's like to see real inclusion. They get a friend, a best friend that is often a lifetime friend, and then they realize what this is like. And we've seen whole cultures in schools change because of a Best Buddies program. And then these students, again, are our leaders of tomorrow, our employers of tomorrow, and our teachers of tomorrow. So this is just a fantastic program for our leaders.
And you're a great evangelist. I love how your eyes light up when you talk about this. Let's talk about upcoming events.
This is so exciting. We get to have our first friendship walk in person since 2019. So that will take place here in North Texas on April 30th at Farmers Branch Historical Park. We're anticipating about 500 people to come out. It's not a long walk, it's not a run, it's a stroll. But Farmers Branch Historical Park is so beautiful. If you haven't been there, come out. And then we'll have, it's like a big giant field day. So we'll have Special Olympics is bringing out some inflatables. Our favorite Texas legends are bringing out their inflatable basketball. We'll have Fajita Pete's providing free food, the Slurpee truck from 7-Eleven. It's just going to be so much fun. Oh, and we have a dunk tank too.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Anything else that people need to be aware of? Is there a month coming up that we need to be aware of?
Well, we actually just finished Best Buddies Awareness Month, which is the month of March. Also coincided, as you saw, with World Down Syndrome Day. Today is the 1st of April, and so we enter into Autism Acceptance Month. And so this is another time to be able to make people aware of our people with disabilities and understand that everybody's just a person and everybody just wants to belong.
As a nonprofit, I'm sure you could use some more donations. Is that
Yes. We invite people to invest their time, their talent, or their treasure. So we're looking for volunteers. If you just go to our website, bestbuddies.org/Texas, you'll find all of our events throughout Texas, because we have a Friendship Walk in Houston on the 23rd. We have a Friendship Walk in Austin on May 7th. And just lots of different opportunities to volunteer. But time, treasure, there's a donate button on the website.
I love it. Okay, final thoughts. What would you like to leave everybody with?
Gosh, you talk about my eyes lighting up. It is so easy to be passionate about this organization and this mission. I just can't even tell you the friends that I have made. I have someone who calls me every day, Dear Jeremy, who's worked at his job at Dairy Farmers of America for 16 years. And they have to force him to take his vacation days. I have my friend Jason, who moved to Louisiana, who called me yesterday so excited because he got accepted into a program in Louisiana, for a college program for students with disabilities. It's similar to Aggie Achieve here, but it's in, I think it's Lafayette, Louisiana. Corinna, those hugs, those smiles, Anne Marie. I mean, our friends are just phenomenal. Jared from Houston. Oh my gosh. It's easy to be passionate about this.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for coming in and sharing this amazing journey that you're on, and they couldn't have picked a better person to head up Texas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We have an amazing staff. Our team makes all this happen. We have the best people.
Absolutely. We're going to leave it with the website, which is bestbuddies.org/Texas. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.